New York Indian Film Festival, in its glorious 22nd year, is running this week virtually for the third year in a row. The festival will feature 60 screenings, 18 feature narratives, 6 documentaries, and 36 short films. Watch the highlights from my conversation with the festival organizers. I'm pleased to welcome to the studio Suman Golamudi, Executive Director of Indo-American Arts Council, Satish Koladi, Associate Professor at Pace University, who is also in the Festival Programming Committee, and Aseem Chabra, film journalist, author, festival moderator, who is also the Festival Director of New York Indian Film Festival. The festival, which is running this week virtually and is in its 22nd glorious year, North America's oldest and most prestigious film festival, which features cinema from both India and the Indian diaspora. Pleasure to have you guys at the ITV Gold Studio. For the first time, the Cannes film market has an official country of honor, which is none other than India this year. How proud do you guys feel?
Well, I'm actually going to Cannes next week, so I'm really excited about that. And I was telling my colleague Suman that there's going to be a panel on Indian film festivals, and I'm actually moderating a conversation there. So
wow.
I'll be very proud because I'll talk about the New York Indian Film Festival there.
Of course. I was about to ask, what role do you feel you have had in promoting Indian films abroad and at festivals such as Cannes?
So, leaving aside Cannes separately, our film festival has all these years focused in the US, and especially New York, before we went virtual. This was the first Indian film festival, as you said, started in North America 22 years ago. Originally, it focused on films, especially from the diaspora, but over the years, it's become much more of a festival that celebrates independent cinema in India, and also films being made in the diaspora, and also films made by non-Indians with subject matters are related to India. We on our own, without wanting to brag or something like that, our whole goal has been to bring Indian cinema that doesn't get a chance to be explored here in this country, doesn't get theatrical releases, and to share it with our audiences, which New Yorkers mostly, but now as we've gone virtual across the US.
So Aseem, you have attended like hundreds of film festivals. What virtues from select festivals or the replica model did you apply to NYIFF?
Well, but New York Indian Film Festival has evolved by its own. It's not like we were trying to sort of get a replica of in other festivals. We specifically wanted to bring films which are in different languages in India. This year, for instance, we have 13 Indian films, 13 films in 13 different languages. We wanted to bring, as I said earlier, films that people cannot see otherwise. That's very, very important because big Bollywood films get theatrical releases. They also get streaming releases. These films that we bring often don't even go on streaming platforms these days because streaming platforms become very, very competitive. This year, for instance, we have 18 narrative films. We have 60 films in total, but we have 18 narrative films, out of which 10 of them are by first-time filmmakers, and we just instituted an award, our debut filmmakers. So our goal is to encourage new voices and to share those new voices with the audiences in the US.
Mm-hmm. So coming to you, Suman, what is the percentage of filmmakers from India, from the US and around the world?
We have a lot of filmmakers coming from everywhere. Of course, we are a New York City based festival, so you see a lot of talent coming from USA. But we also have a bulk of our filmmakers who come from India who want to show it. We have a great platform here in the film festival, Indian Film Festival in New York. So they obviously want to show their film to this audience and to expand their reach. So we have both, I have to say.
But in terms of percentage, like from US, how many people would be there?
I would say we have a lot more short films, short filmmakers here. I wouldn't give a number, put out a number there, but I think we have, let's say 50%, maybe.
Probably in that ballpark, basically. Ballpark. But the large number of films are actually coming from India. And then there's some filmmakers that sort of travel between India and the US also, so we don't know where they're based, really.
So how challenging is it to curate films virtually and marketing the festival, third year in a row, I believe?
It has been challenging. In the sense that the charm of having an in-person festival is lost because you get to meet the directors, the filmmakers, the cast and the crew, and have a Q&A in person. But the shift has been necessary. But I think as a festival, we have adapted ourselves pretty well in terms of hosting them virtually, and also it's kind of become convenient to use the virtual platform to have Q&As with directors who can zoom in from India or from London, and then so it's kind of convenient, but at the same time it's not quite the same as having an in-person.
There's some kind of lazy filmmaking as well, because people started using their smartphones and they're still continuing that.
Yes, but also I must say that it's been incredible that given the pandemic, we have been overwhelmed with the number of submissions this year. We got more than 220.
Wow.
So you can imagine the courage of filmmakers to go out there and make films despite the circumstances. It's just been incredible, absolutely, yeah.
So talk about some proteges, first-time festival participants or winners who've made it big, other names to reckon with today.
Well, Nagaraj Manchule, for instance, we showed his first film, Fandry, and his third film with Amitabh Bachchan, I think it's called Jund. So that's just one example coming to my mind. We were one of the early film festivals to show. Rajan DK become huge, with Family Man and everything. As you know, we opened our festival with Shore in the City. That was their third film, I think. Even somebody like Anurag Kashyap, I mean, we showed Gulal. Even Gangs of Wasipur, which hadn't exploded the way it eventually did. He brought a Blu-ray of the film from the Cannes Film Festival, basically. So Hansal Mehta, who's become very, very big. I mean, we showed his film Shahid. And he won the Best Director award, I remember, at the festival. And since then, Hansal has, become big in films, and also he did Scam 92, which became a big blockbuster sort of a show as such. So there's so many filmmakers, and the other very interesting thing happens. I mentioned Hansal Mehta. Hansal Mehta met Manav Kaul, an actor, at one of our festivals,
2009,
and they ended up started talking together, and then Hansal ended up casting Manav Kaul. Meera Nair met an actress and loved her. Her name is escaping my mind. Eventually cast her in Monsoon Wedding, the musical, for instance. So one of the things that happens at a festival is that if you can have well-known filmmakers like Meera Nair present there, they're also looking around to see where is the talent, and so we give that space, we open up the space for ideas and filmmakers to sort of meet up and exchange and find young talent.